Captain's Log, Stardate 2213.5. We've been monitoring unusual activity from the surface of the planet and have beamed down a landing party to try and locate the source of the disturbance. Okay, I think I've found it. Oh yeah, no two ways about it. This is it. This is the technology. You won't believe it though. It's disguised as a 1970s artifact from Earth. Unbelievable. It's got everything but the disco ball light. And even then I'm not too sure. Whatever happens, we can't afford to let this fall into their hands. You never know what they'll do with it. Prepare to beam us out.
We can't. There are life forms approaching.
Right, hold off on that. I'll engage them and get rid of them. Hello fellow CNCNutz, and welcome. Hello fellow CNCNutz, and welcome back to part 3 of building my CNC console. Now I realise it pretty much looks the same as it did when you last saw it, but there are some changes I've made. I've started by getting the 4 screw holes here in place. I drilled a hole and then tapped a thread into it to take these here, the furniture screws. Now I did buy some threaded inserts to use, but unfortunately they're just a bit too close to the edge for me to use them. I've got the top face here and this front face here all glued in place. On the side I've drilled 3 holes on each side, and there to take these here, and I put the threaded inserts on the base. Unfortunately these are just a little bit too short, so I've ordered some that are 10mm longer. On the inside I've added this here piece of plywood just to separate the wiring from the push button from the keyboard area. That way they're not likely to fall into the keyboard area. I've given it a light sand, and now it's time for this here, some industrial grade sandable primer. It's designed for both wood and metal, so I'm going to get that applied first, then I'd make some decisions on what colour to make it. Okay, Chip. Back so soon. Thought you'd be at least 3 hours watching paint dry. Are we ready for the big reveal? And here it is. The new Masso console. So let's take a quick preview around it. Let's start off. We've got our screen. And this one here is a touch screen. So I can move from page to page like so, which is going to make navigating around it a lot easier. Next we have a panel here which has various buttons on it. The 6 along the top here will be for auto-loading programs. I'll have up to 6 programs loaded that I can just with a push of a button load them. Next I'm going to have a feed hold button, and this one here I'm going to make a spindle start button, or a cycle start button I should say. I want to have a homing button, and that's going to leave me about 3 that I can do other things with. I may even make one of these here, just turn the power off to Masso and back on again so that I can restart it if I want. It saves having to pull the power cord out the back. And also having to put a switch on as well. We've got an e-stop button here. I haven't got that wired in yet. And I have here our USB stick here. When you plug that in, it will bring up the files showing on the USB stick. In the bottom here we've got our drawer, and I've got my wireless keyboard. It's movable if I have to, and the same goes for the mouse. Hopefully I won't need to use either of them very much, since I've got the touchpad, but I will actually need a keyboard and mouse to use this anyway. Now if I turn it around a bit, on this side here I've got my MPG, just somewhere to hang that up. Nothing else on this side here. Continuing on, I've installed Masso at the top here, and down here I've got my power in. I have some relays. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but they're all just sitting on a DIN rail, so I can put them on and take them off as I need. I've got another card here. This also contains relays as well. And I've got some other cards I want to try and interface with this at a later date. Here's where my power feeds in. I'm just feeding 12 volts into the entire system because the monitor and Masso are both running off 12 volts. Likewise, my relays are 12 volts and this relay card's 12 volts. I kept everything 12 volts, easy to come by, and the same applies to my light here as well. Should I put this up the top here, which is what I'm thinking at present, and the LEDs in here are all 12 volt. Continuing on the side here, I have my D25 parallel port. I'm going to wire this up as if it was a parallel port, so it'll just interface directly with my Gecko G540 drive. Here I've got my 2 HDMI outs. I've got spindle control, homing switches. I was originally going to wire this light up through there as well, and who knows, I may still do that. And I've got this one here for my laser at this stage, but things can change as we go along, so who can say what will happen. And that basically is my Masso console build, and I really like the way it's come out. It's got that really 1970s retro look about it. So where to from here? Well, there's still a lot of wiring to be done. I've only done the most basic to get it up and running, basically just the screen going, my USB stick, and that's about it. The e-stop doesn't work, none of these buttons do, so they would be wired up, as too does the homing switches, my probe, as also my stepper motors, and anything else that I might be forgetting. So if you're interested in seeing how that progresses, check out the CNCNutz Masso Edition channel. I'll put a link somewhere here you can click, and also in the description box below. So if you're interested, why not subscribe, ring the bell, and you'll be updated of all notifications on that. Okay, well that about wraps it up for this edition. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you like the new Masso console. All that remains me to do is to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Cheers. Yeah, okay, Mr. Chip. It looks like they've gone. You can beam us aboard. Very funny.